Hey guys.
Alright folks, we're here today to check out a video from Midnight. It's called Cleveland Metal. Now the reason we're checking this out...
Cleveland Brown?
No, Metal. So the reason why we're checking this out, it's twofold. First reason is because I haven't seen the video, and I'm excited to see what the video is all about. Second reason is, I heard the song, there's a new album coming out, and this album is really interesting by Midnight. This is the opening track on the album. So the album has 12 songs. 10 of them are covers, 2 are original. So the title of the album is an original song, and this one is an original. All the other covers are bands from Ohio, like either Cleveland or Akron, like Ohio, right? Mm-hmm. So what he did, the dude in Midnight, he took songs from like punk rock bands from Ohio, but like unless you're from Ohio, you probably never heard of any of these bands before in your life. So he took songs from these old school bands, and he gave it his own Midnight twist to the songs. So the beauty about this is that it's an homage to where the band is from, because Midnight is from Cleveland. Yeah. So it's an homage to where they're from, to their state, to their city. But if you're like me and you never heard about any of these bands from Cleveland, and you listen to this album when it comes out, I believe it comes out May 26th, something like that. So if you're like me and you never heard of any of this shit, when it comes out, it's like you're listening to a whole brand new Midnight album. Yeah. Because you've never heard of the songs, of the originals. And they all sound like Midnight songs. So, there you go.
It's a win-win.
It's a win-win. I highly recommend you guys go check out this album. Like I said, it's interesting because it's a tribute, but at the same time, sounds like brand new material.
Cleveland Metal is like reminding me of that band called Oakley Dokley. Where it's
no, I think this is a spin on Detroit Rocks.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, okay.
The full band of Ned Flanders.
Yes, I know which band you're talking about.
So like imagine just a band full of Cleveland Brown from Family Guy.
I know, and you realize the football team from Cleveland is called the Browns.
I know.
Did you ever put those two together?
Oh, Donna.
On that note,
I don't know any good Cleveland lines. Like, what is his lines other than O'Donna?
I don't even.
I know, like, Quagmire's giggity giggity.
I know, Cleveland doesn't have a line.
Does he not have a line?
Did you see that episode? Sorry, guys. But did you see that episode where they're at the hospital and Peter asks the doctor, "So, doc, tell me, what's wrong with my friend?" And he's like, "He's black." "Oh, no, not that one." The one was in bed. Oh, my goodness. Family Guy at its best. All right.
West side track, the hellpits of the east.
in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Holy shit. That is pretty cool, man. That is pretty cool, I must say. Good old Midnight. So what do you think about Cleveland metal?
That was odd, dude. I love that. So
We have
what
the
you're saying?
heaviest licks.
So what you're saying is this is a cover?
No, this is original.
Oh, this one's original. Okay.
This one and the title track of the record are
Okay.
original. All the other 10 songs are covers.
Okay.
But if I played you one of the other ones, you would
It
think
would
it's
be like
original.
this.
Yeah,
Okay.
you think it's
I
original
was
because you've
gonna
never
say,
heard
sounds
them.
original as fuck.
No, this is original. I mean, who the hell would have write a song called Cleveland Metal?
Someone from Cleveland.
I guess. Well, in this, yeah, true, it happened now. But what I'm saying is, all the other ones are covers. But if you're like me and you don't know who the bands are, then they all sound like original material. So the album is great from that perspective. Because if you're from Cleveland and you grew up listening to those bands, it's a great record to have because now you have his take on those songs.
Yeah.
If you didn't grow up in Cleveland and you never heard of the bands, then you just have a brand new Midnight album. So it's a win-win situation as far as I'm concerned.
Very true. Very true. Well, yeah, listener-wise, very win-win.
Yeah. It really fits. You check all the boxes for those that know Cleveland well enough or grew up there and you're representing the scene, and for those that didn't. So it checks all the boxes. But this is original. This is the opening track.
It's some good shit. I love the fucking guitar. This is like, I feel like with Midnight overall, like guitars are always the staple when it comes to the good shit in a Midnight song. But it has like that old school flair to it. The whole song kind of has like an old school tint to it. With like new school lighting.
Yeah, it's like very Motorhead-ish.
Yeah, very like
It's just darker.
darker Motorhead.
Yeah, if that's even possible. But yeah, it has that vibe. Like, it's just pure rock and roll. Like, just rock and roll. Just a darker rock and roll with, like, gnarlier vocals.
Because I feel like the vocals don't influence the sound as much as other bands tend to have.
No, but his voice is great for the sound that he
No,
creates.
it's great, but I feel like it doesn't influence it. Like, it doesn't...
What do you mean by influence it?
I mean, like, how the guitars and everything is very rock and roll. His vocals are very blackened. And yet I feel like just because his vocals are on the track, it doesn't tint the guitars and stuff black. Like, it doesn't blacken up everything else.
No. The song still sounds very rock and roll.
It still sounds very, very rock and roll. So I'm saying, like, it doesn't influence it into continuing off what the vocals have. The guitars and instrumental for the track is still that rock and roll feel throughout the song. And I really, really enjoy that.
They're one of my favorite bands, man. Like, super consistent as far as the records are concerned. You can grab any Midnight album and put it on and press play if you're feeling depressed or whatever. It's going to cheer you up. There's no such thing as a bad Midnight record. They're all very good. And this one is really good. Like I said, when I was listening to it for the review, to record my review of it, I was like, these are covers? So then I did some research and I started, like, Googling where the bands were from. And I'm like, fuck, they're all from, like, Ohio. Like Akron, Cleveland, whatever else is in Ohio.
I think you use those ones at the start too. Do you only know those two in Ohio?
No, because those are the two that come to mind of the bands that I Googled. They were either from one place or the other. Maybe those are the two biggest cities in Ohio. I don't know.
Well, definitely Cleveland.
No, Cincinnati. Isn't Cincinnati in Ohio?
I think Cincinnati is in Ohio.
Columbus is also in Ohio.
Columbus. The Columbus Crew.
Yeah, fuck.
I was actually
guys.
talking about them yesterday. I'm like, dude, I think out of all
I think I've spent more time in Columbus than I have in Cleveland.
I think out of all of the old school MLS logos, the Columbus Crew was by far the best.
There's the Village People.
Yeah.
They have the Village People as their logo.
By far the best.
Yeah, I remember
and
those
then they
days.
switched it up into some bullshit. Now it's all like, it looks AI generated.
Yeah, so there's half of things out there these days. Not Midnight's music, though. That is fucking cool shit, I gotta say. I enjoyed the video, too.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the video. The live performance there, like the place packed. Him coming in with the... What do you call that thing?
The scythe.
Yeah, him coming in with that. Fuck, how do you get that past the metal detector? But when you have a bullet belt, I think that's the least of their concerns.
Very true.
That's... Like, you're beeping all over the place. Like, at that point, like... whatever. He's performing. Let the men through. Let him in. So, yeah, he's just, like, super cool. Cool-ass band. I saw these guys once live. Unfortunately, only once. I've saw them with Mayhem, and I gotta say, I enjoy them way more than Mayhem.
Uh,
I just.
I also feel like at the time you were really, really into like the black and rock or just
Yeah,
old
I mean, it
school
was at the
rock.
Phoenix. I honestly wish I had seen them at a smaller venue. I know it sounds crazy, but I feel like I don't know, a place like Lee's Palace or Velvet Underground would have been even better because then you can get really up close, and I think that adds to
That would
the
pack out a lot more.
yeah,
Though.
that adds to the effect of seeing this band. They played here in Toronto last year with Exciter, but we were in Finland at the time, so I missed that show, and I believe that one was at Lee's Palace. So anyhow, looking forward to the next tour so I can see these guys again because they're just up there as one of my favorite bands for sure. I love the simplicity of the sound. It's just rock and roll with blackened vocals and dark attitude to it, and just fucking. I guess a good representation of Cleveland. I feel
Yeah,
it's not the most. Cleveland is not like the most
but it's not. It's
joyful of
also.
places.
It's also not Buffalo.
That's true. My stomach is growling.
I know.
What
I
the
can hear
fuck is
it.
going on here? Yeah, it's not the most joyful places, but it's not Buffalo. There's always that, or Detroit for that matter. So, it could be worse. It could be Columbus. That is definitely worse. I've been to Columbus many times. That place is where dreams go to die. Yeah. On that note, guys, let us know what you think. Tell us if you're interested in checking out the album. Whatever floats your boat. Just hit us up in the comments section. Get that algorithm going, and we'll see you all at the next one.
See ya.